Hey guys, this is Austin.
And John.
And welcome to another episode of the Meatgisitcs podcast. Today we've got a few things to go over. We're going to talk a little bit about our new website that is probably out by the time you guys have heard this. But we're gonna...
Let's hope. Oh, God.
Yeah. But
if I'm still working on this a week from now, well, actually, that's not fair. If I'm working and we still haven't gone live in a week from now, I'm going to be very upset. Uh-oh.
I'm just going to let there be silence there for a second because I don't know. I'm nervous at the moment. But until we get to that, we've got a few things to go over about some meat news stuff.
So number one, and I find this kind of funny and kind of sad at the same time. 2 meat sellers in Brooklyn, New York, cloned a USDA stamp and were marking choice beef as prime and selling it at prime costs.
Stuff like that just drives me nuts. It's like if people spend as much time and energy into doing the right things, they would be so much more productive.
Absolutely.
Society would be better off.
Yep.
But no, people have to spend time being evil on purpose.
Okay. Have you ever seen My Blue Heaven?
No.
You ever seen My Blue Heaven? Good movie. Rick Moranis and oh God, what's his name? Super famous comedian, Steve Martin. Thank you. He's a gangster. He gets put in witness protection, so he goes somewhere like the Midwest, and he goes to a grocery store and he takes a pricing gun and he just marks all the beef like 99 cents, and he brings it up to the cash register, and the guy's checking him out, and he's like, guy just like, wow, oh my God. It's like, you were getting great prices today. That's what I imagine these guys were doing. They're like, click.
That's perfect.
But they're not going to jail for that. They're just paying some fines, $100,000 in fines between 2 people. That should be a jail-worthy offense. I mean, think about what you've done there, because they're selling to like restaurant groups and distributors. So you're passing off something as a superior product that's going to possibly a high-end restaurant or steakhouse. They're then charging their customers. I mean, you've stolen probably hundreds of thousands of dollars from people.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know, like, how many pounds of meat did they do it to? Like, did they just do it to like 500 pounds?
That's fair.
Okay, yeah, fine, I'm go on with life. But if it was enough,
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like the biggest one I've heard of and think of recently, which isn't really recently, but was it Bernie Madoff or somebody that like stole a bunch of money, defrauded people?
Was the huge Ponzi scheme
like,
thing, yeah.
If you steal enough money, Ponzi scheme, whatever, you steal enough money from people, I mean, you go to prison forever.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially with like Bernie Madoff, you steal from the wrong people.
Yeah. On the other hand, you go to the other extreme and you're a little kid and you're inside Quick Trip and you steal a Tootsie Roll, and your parents find out, they're going to make you go back in and give it back and say you're sorry, and they're going to go, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, and life's going to go on. So I mean, there could be nothing all the way to
sure this does not fall in the Tootsie Roll range. This is way more in the, like, you know, kid takes something not thinking about it, whatever. These people literally must have gotten a stamp, carved out a USDA inspector's like stamp portion, and then intentionally passed off inferior beef as prime.
You know, maybe they were just that dumb though. Maybe they really didn't know it was wrong.
No,
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here.
All right, but speaking, when you said how many pounds of meat, that leads into the next story. 150 tons of corned beef have been recalled.
What?
So cancel St. Patrick's Day. 150 tons.
Wow.
Of corned beef have been recalled. I see you looking around. It makes me think that I didn't actually put a link to that, and I didn't.
Yeah, you're surprising me
Like
on this one. I didn't know we were going to talk about this one, but yeah, right at St. Patrick's Day. That's crazy.
Right.
So do you know who it's recalled from?
Don't. Okay. I don't. I looked at the article real quick, hoping I would find out if it was like salmonella or something like that. It didn't list. It just said it had been recalled. I imagine usually when it's something like that, it's like piece of plastic broke somewhere in the line and they can't make sure it's not in the meat. That's usually what it is. Like Hormel had one a bunch of years ago with chili.
Yeah, but that's for like a ground product. We're talking like a whole muscle.
That's fair. I don't know.
It could have been a temperature deal. I mean, it could have been, I could see it being something where a refrigerator broke and they didn't know about it and things were sitting at 50 degrees instead of 35, and they come and find out later through logging software or something. I don't know.
All right, there goes St. Patrick's Day. Ready to eat canned corned beef products that were imported and distributed in the United States. It doesn't say.
So if it's imported, that makes me feel a little better. It wasn't.
We didn't do it
an
here.
American problem.
Yeah. All right. So for some reason, it got recalled. On to the more ranty section of this. There's an article in Meeting Place it's an article in Meeting Place about an article in the Wall Street Journal that OSHA did not investigate more than 1,000 deaths that were linked to workplace transmission of COVID-19. Now, that's not 1,000 meat processing plants. That's 1,000 deaths across all businesses across all of the United States. What do they expect? They expect OSHA to be able to inspect every single case of COVID that was transmitted through work. That's idiotic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What is everybody calling for? It's like people are begging for more government right now.
Yeah, I have a lot of personal opinions on that, especially with how normally health is something that's like protected, and you're not.
What do you mean, like to protect like class type
HIPAA
thing?
laws,
right? Okay.
Yeah, so people can't normally ask you about your health and get information just freely about it. But COVID's kind of changed some of that. After I had COVID, the county and the state were calling me.
Yeah.
I never answered because I knew what they were going to do, and I was not going to talk to them. I wasn't going to tell them anything. They found out that I had COVID because
the testing.
I had to through the testing. But after that, I'm not talking to them, telling them anything. The government doesn't need to be involved in that stuff.
So I told you they called me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, you need to you need to isolate to this day. And they're like, did you have close contact with anyone? Did they have it? And I was like, listen, I've already determined when I'm gonna self-isolate too. My wife has already determined when she's I'm like, you're not telling me what to do. I'm already doing these things. I was getting I was trying to remain calm because it's probably someone who just got a job and they said, hey, call these numbers, tell these people these things. It's not like I'm talking to some policymaker. But at the same time, like, you don't get to tell me what to do with my life.
Yeah. I don't like being told what to
Neither do I. That may be the primary driver in my life of most things. It's just like, oh, you're going to, all right, well, now I'm going this way. Like, I'm not going to sit around and let you tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. My wife learned really early on that the best or the worst way to get me to do something was to try to tell me I had to do it. I was like, no, who do you think you are? Like, this is my life. I will do what I need to do.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts. And then global food commodity prices rose for the 9th consecutive month in February. The good news is that is the opposite with red meats. Red meats actually fell, I think, 2%. Everything else more than made up for that. Sugar, oddly, was like the biggest.
6.4%.
On sugar?
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Just in 1 month. We're not talking like year over year, like from month to month.
That's insane. But
it's crazy.
The good news is I'm going to be fine as long as beef and pork don't skyrocket. I've been eating a lot of pork recently at home. I've been doing it on my Camp Chef. Been putting some of that Mississippi grind on it and basically doing like kind of a reverse seared pork chop. Really good.
I actually did do that. It's been a couple months, but I was like, I reverse sear steaks. I should do that with a pork chop,
sure
right?
can.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's the way to do it.
Ooh. this is kind of to the side, but I have to remember to grab a propane tank before I go home tonight. I'm reverse searing steaks. And the last time I reverse seared steaks on my camp chef, I have that little side grill, the sidekick or whatever it's called, which is amazing. I never turned it off. So I went out there the next day, opened it up, and there's just like some sort of white dust on all of it. It must just burnt everything to crisp that was in there. Yeah, so I didn't remember that.
So I hate to be a negative Nancy on the article about food prices, but in saying that meat has at least gone down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also, in my thought, is partially because meat went up a lot. Fair. And it's been really variable over the past year.
That's fair.
So is it really lower, or is it just lower than it was the last month, but is it still high? I don't know. I haven't tracked for the last several months.
That's a good point. No, it has been going up and up. The thing that really kind of opened my eyes, and we talked about it on one of the live streams, my grocery bills, I'm buying the same thing as I buy every month, and they're a third higher than they normally are. I mean, everyone's been talking about all this inflation that's coming. I got news for you. It's here. Mm-hmm. Things are getting more expensive. And the way you can test this at home is go to Amazon, put something in your cart, like a laptop or a tablet, come back 2 weeks later, see how much more expensive it is. And it will be more expensive.
Yeah.
Everything, the cost of everything is going up.
I try not to look. My wife normally does most of the grocery shopping, and I don't pay attention. I don't want to know. I don't want to see it.
So when I check out, I have my headphones in and I don't look at the thing. I'm just like, and then every time as I'm leaving, I have to look at the receipt just to see what the damage is. But yeah, no, it's super frustrating.
Yeah.
Hard to save money right now with that. Then the USDA and their infinite wisdom is preventing poultry plants from being able to increase the speed of lines to make up for shortages.
This is just stupid.
Yep. It's
so freaking dumb. Excuse my usage of freaking, but why?
How dare you?
Why can they come in and tell you how fast you can or can't do something in one industry, but not every other industry out there? Why is it the meat processing industry? Like, I'm not saying that they should be able to have that authority to go do it in other industries, but
did you not read Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, Austin? The meat processing industry is dirty.
Yeah.
For anyone who's not read Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, don't waste your time. It was all propaganda. But they taught it to us as like, this is what it was like back then. And then you get older and you find out, oh no, that's basically that whole book is a lie.
Yeah. In every industry, there's always companies doing shady things or bad things.
Like all of our competitors.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, no, I won't comment about competitors. No, I mean, it's going to happen. There's going to be bad people and good people out there, and they're going to get weeded out. But you don't have to have the government come in and control every little aspect of it for them to determine how things are going to work. It's just stupid.
All right. And then in other news, Austin and I are almost ready to open our compound in Utah, where we will be sovereign citizens and will not recognize anyone.
I'm down.
Sometimes I do feel like we come off as a little radical. Is that no?
Anarchist?
Yeah, like maybe a little anarchist. And we're not. It's just.
Did anybody read the Anarchist Cookbook when they were younger?
I believe I downloaded a copy of it like 15 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking about this with my wife the other day. I'm trying to get her to buy a smaller pistol for her to like just carry with her all the time.
Yeah.
And I am buying a lower just because I see that as about to be illegal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I look forward, man, and all I see, like, there's red pill and blue pill. Everybody's heard of that, right? There's something that's more recent. It's called black pill. And it's like when you kind of wake up and you look forward at like where this all is going, and it's like, I don't see a hope. Like, I don't see a like, I don't say like, oh, once we get past this, like Joe Biden in office, Donald Trump in office, they're both leading us bad places.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, humans are just naturally apt to make things worse. I mean, we're all, in my opinion, inherently sinful beings
Yep.
that things just get worse as time goes on.
I think it was
That's how it goes.
Jung who said, if we got humanity to the state of like perfection, utopia, the first thing we would do is mess things up intentionally just to see what would happen.
Probably.
Like, I don't even see like, and this is not like an original thought by me, a state of utopia isn't even something that humanity should desire. It's not what we're built for. Like, we are built to struggle, to like have a purpose. But yeah, one other kind of interesting comment. I don't remember, somebody else brought this up. Do you remember learning about like the art in the Renaissance? And they would talk about how, we'll say it, the more full figured gals were often like drawn. Like they usually have girls who are a little fat.
Okay.
In the pictures. So what they would teach us was that was because being able to have extra body weight back then was like a status symbol. It was like, you know, nobody has enough food, so they were considered prettier because they had some extra fat on them. Everybody has access to so many calories now that it's the exact opposite. Now, self-restriction is the status symbol. How insane is that? We've come we're exactly the opposite of what it was back then.
Yeah. Trends constantly flip and change, and nothing's ever static.
No.
But it's weird. Why do people think one way and then a few years later it's all of a sudden flipped totally around?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it. Why can't we just move forward in life and just be normal?
Oh, well, I think that
my state of normal, not someone else's state of normal.
So you get to be the dictator in this.
I would love
future.
to be a dictator, and then I would get rid of all dictators.
I'd sign up to live in a Austin dictatorship. It would at least be really orderly.
I would pretty much just tell everyone, go do whatever you want. I don't care.
All right. So it would be the exact opposite of orderly.
Now, you still have to have law and order, but there's a difference between having law and order and telling someone how fast they can run their meat processing facility.
Fair.
Like, I just don't get it. It's silly.
Yep. All right. And then last one before we get into the new website is we're outsourcing pig farming now. 21% raise in bringing in pork from China, or Chinese exports, I should say, instead of just coming into the US. But didn't they just have that terrible swine flu? Like killed off millions and millions and millions of pigs? How are they already at a 21% increase in exports already?
No, I think it's saying that it's not like already. It's this year they will get to a 14% increase or so. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it was in the last couple of years that the African swine fever is what it was that decimated things. So I don't know. It doesn't really say exactly in the story, but I don't think that they're like 14% above where they were. They're just continuing to recover.
Oh, so I think 14% they're still more than last year.
Yeah, I think they're still below.
Okay. Yeah, I don't understand
where they were.
Yeah, that's fair. I obviously didn't think very clearly while I was reading that.
It says they forecast their slaughter to reach nearly 600 million head this year. It's a lot of pigs.
You ever watch Family Guy?
Not lately. I used to a little bit.
Okay, so an older one was the pig, when he brings back the pig from the future and it's all muscly and it's got hands.
No, I don't know.
Because of all the genetic engineering they've done with pigs. I'm just imagining that's how they're getting to 600 million after being decimated.
That's crazy.
Just crazy genetic engineering. All right, you want to talk about the website?
Sure.
Okay. So for you on Meatgisitcs, you've probably noticed I don't think I've answered a single question in the last almost a week. I'm sure you're at least at that.
I think I've answered since you have.
Have you really?
I think it was just from like either Papa Sop or Bad Fire or Tex or one of the guys that post a lot. They tagged me on something. I responded, but it was something fun. It wasn't really thoughtful.
Yeah. So pretty much there were numerous days this past week where I woke up, didn't even work out, just came right in and sat down at the computer and started looking at every single product on the old Waltonsinc.com and what is it going to be Waltons.com?
No, we won't.
Not going to do it.
You don't make two big changes like that all at once. That's bad. So that'll come later.
Fair. All the advertising I'm doing going forward though is just Waltons.com.
Yeah.
Okay. So eventually we're going to cut off the ink. It'll still get you there to the same place, but Waltons.com will work as of right now. Basically, stop me if I'm going to be going into too much detail. What we ran the website on, the commerce portion of it, support is ending for that. So we had to find a new back-end platform.
Yeah.
So we did that and we started working on the conversion 20 months ago, something like
2 years.
that.
Yeah.
2 years.
It was 2 years.
2 years ago.
But the first year of that was just CRM because our CRM and website are now one software piece. So we said, okay, push the website off.
Just get to this.
Let's get the CRM running. We did that. And then we said, okay, year 2 is now the website. Now we're still like, we're still a long ways behind, but it's not as bad.
So a couple quick things. CRM, customer resource management.
Relationship
management. So it's something our commercial salesmen use to be able to more effectively serve their commercial customers. Really useful tool. Awesome. About last April probably is when I started not adding new products to Waltonsinc.com because I didn't want to do them in 2 places. That came back and bit me in the butt because I had to do them all real fast.
And I didn't help that. I encouraged it. I was like, don't set them up.
So anyways, so we have gone through, we have touched, I believe, every single product, making sure that it's displaying correctly, that you'll be able to purchase it on the new website, that the price is reflected accurately, that the URL is the same. There is also a bunch of stuff on the back end called SEO, which is search engine optimization, so that when you go to Google and you search sausage seasoning, we have carefully crafted descriptions, things like that, to try to get ours at the top of Google's list. Well, at least the top of their non-paid rankings. Because the first 1 or 2 is often some sort of advertisement.
Yeah, we a lot of times pay for the top spots there anyways. Okay. Yeah. I don't even know if you know how much we spend a month on Google ads. So I should tell you sometime because you're going to be starting to do more of that.
No. So. Here's the deal. I had no idea until one day some lady walked in and they found me for some reason. You weren't here.
Megan.
She's like, I need a check for it. And I went, you're insane. I'm like, there's not a chance I'm giving you a check for that. I almost got aggressive about it. I didn't though. I was like, okay, this must be annually or something. And then I talked to you about it. You're like, yeah, that's a month. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's crazy. It works.
What are you going to do about it? All right, let's go over some of the new and improved features of the new Waltonsinc.com.
Okay. So a lot of these are going to be very specific for commercial customers.
But we have some commercial customers who listen.
Because like we said, it integrates with our CRM, so we get to do some special things there. So if some of these don't sound like they pertain to you, don't worry. There's a lot for everybody here. One of the things that we've got new is being able to have multiple users on one customer. For most people, that won't make a difference unless your husband is spending too much on meat processing and you want to have your joint account and watch and control everything your husband or wife is doing. But don't really let your husband spend as much as he wants on our website.
That's insane.
Or your wife, whichever way. address books. It's easier to maintain and control addresses. I know that's a silly feature and almost a stupid thing, but our other website really didn't do a very good job of it. This one does much better, and it has a Google Maps integration that actually shows you where it's at, which really doesn't do a lot.
No, but
it's cool.
And it helps. It does help.
For me anyways, I like it when I see that because I know, okay, I actually put my address in right, and it's going and shipping to the right place.
There's been twice where I've put this 3639 and then my home street address. And then I'm like, why didn't it get to me? It's been returned. Why has it been returned? And I look at it, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. There are custom roles on the website that if you're a commercial customer, then you can be the owner, assign someone as a buyer, assign someone as accounting, assign these different roles and control what they have access to.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Some quoting features. There's a few things on our site that we don't list a price on. They're usually higher priced or there's something special about them, something custom to it that'll allow for some better quote processes on. Order history is going to be a massive improvement. There will be a section that's called previously purchased that you can go back through. I think by default, it's like 2 years. You can basically see what you purchased, when you purchased, and be able to easily and quickly add it back to your cart. If you're anything like me, I normally buy the same things over and over from sites. Yep. So I go back to my order history a lot on different things, and trying to find something can be kind of difficult. But in this, it formats it kind of like a category. You can filter it, sort it. You can search any text on it. So if you know you've bought something from us in the past, but you can't remember exactly where or what it is, it makes it super easy to find that again.
Yeah, that'll be real helpful for seasonings and casings.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. People, when they find something they really like, they want to keep going and get that. And we have so many options on both of those, it definitely can get confusing.
Yeah. And so to kind of piggyback off of that topic, we're changing how like shopping carts are done. So instead of having a normal, just a single shopping cart, you can have multiple shopping lists. You can name them. You could have 100 different ones if you wanted. You could have one that's called
deer
summer
season.
Grill time, deer season, my super special brat order. Name them different things, just your wish list or Christmas list, and organize some of the things that you either just like, some of the things you're looking to get, some of the things you've already bought. You can keep them as long as you want, but it really helps organize what you've got there, make things easier and faster. So past the shopping list and being able to customize kind of what you see and how to use that there, we're doing a lot with just making ordering faster and easier. If you have a previous order that you're like, I just want this, just hit reorder. Mm-hmm. It makes it real fast there. The shopping cart process itself is a lot more simplified.
So I like the look of everything better. I like how we have things organized better, but the biggest difference is the checkout experience. It's so much faster. Everything's on one page. You don't hit it and it takes you somewhere else. It just kind of moves you on to the next block a little bit, but it's all on one page. Not to steal your thunder if you're about to talk about this, but multiple coupons. So if you have a 10% off and we're giving a free hat or something, you can use 2 coupons in certain situations. That's something that our old site didn't allow. This one will.
So. Yeah. And the coupons and gift cards, where you had to put them in on the other site, sometimes confused people and it was just awkward. Mm-hmm. Now it's just much more fluid with things, and it's all on that one single checkout page. It makes things fit and work hand in hand a lot better.
And on old ones, if we were giving like 10% off and free shipping, they would miss the free shipping a lot because they had to click that thing in the down or lower left-hand side. This is much more obvious.
Yeah.
So
then, the other thing on the checkout page or shopping cart also goes back to your account overall. is addresses. I kind of forgot this when I talked about the Google Maps integration. It also, I don't think it's actually Google Maps. It's something different, but it'll autofill your address. So as you're starting to type your address in, you get that list that pops up and is like, oh, or do you mean this one? And you can click it. And then you don't have to fill in the city, the state, the zip, the country.
That's awesome.
Like it's just one box. When it pulls up the one that you want, you click it and you're done. I personally love that. I don't know why every site doesn't use it.
I'm always amazed when I use that and it finds my house. Like I'll type in the house number, the first 2 letters of the street, which isn't anything like unique. And my house is the first one up there. I'm like, surely it must be looking at the fact that I'm in this area and choosing that. Cause I know there's more 5012s, you know, than just that. Yeah.
It knows a lot about you.
Technology.
It's creepy.
It is creepy.
More things about making the ordering process faster and easier. The quick order form. We had a quick order form before, but it wasn't great.
Yep.
This one works a lot better.
But let's talk about that a little bit because I did play around with the quick order form. I used it on one of the test orders I sent through. You can either upload a Excel file that has the SKU and the quantity, or you can copy and paste.
Yeah.
And both of them work fine and are super simple to do. Now, for the regular retail customer, probably never going to use that.
They could still use the quick order there if they just know, hey, I want blue ribbon brat seasoning, and some natural casings. They could go there and start typing in blue ribbon and natural casings and add stuff quickly like that.
Right. Sorry, I meant like the uploading or copying and pasting the SKU and stuff. Yeah. Maybe somebody like Parksider though. Well, no, he doesn't do his huge deer camp thing anymore.
No, he doesn't.
No, he's down in Florida.
What?
Yeah, Parksider moved down to Florida. Oh.
Crazy.
Oh, sorry.
So the ordering by spreadsheet or uploading the list, that's probably more of a commercial thing.
Yeah, but it's very useful.
Yeah. So
part of, I mean, I know the CRM portion of this has been a big benefit to our commercial salesmen. I'm sure you know what percentage of our online sales are commercial.
Yeah.
Do you think these additional features will make it more attractive to commercial customers to order online?
It has the potential to. I mean, our commercial base is it's a different deal. How to put this the best way. Our industry is not the most technologically advanced industry. There's a lot of our customers out there, the really small mom and pop shops that are in a little town of 500 people and they barely have a fax machine in their plant. And you're like, what's a fax machine? It's like, yeah, there's internet, there's email, there's all this other stuff now. So we're never going to get some people to move over. I think we actually sell to a few different Mennonite or Amish community type things where there is only like one telephone in the community and it's on a telephone pole. And so if we have to get a hold of somebody, you call and you leave a message with whoever answers and say, hey, I need you to tell Bob to call me.
Yep. I remember doing that in customer service.
Yeah. But so there's some that's never going to move over. But I think it'll make it easier and more appealing for some of our customers who are a little more technologically advanced, haven't wanted to order online just because it hasn't been as easy or as smooth, as convenient as just calling and saying, hey, I need my blah, blah, blah seasoning and this and that. And we pull it up from their order history and we go. This, I think, will be the fastest, easiest way for people to order.
Hopefully. Now, there is also, for some of the commercial customer, like I developed pretty good relationships and friendships with some of the commercial customers. So I'm sure there's a certain portion of calling in that's like A, familiarity, B, you got to talk to a friendly voice, and C, the number of times, like I know Liz, I'm sure still catches them all the time. And I did like mistakes on the customer's order. I'm like, you've never ordered that in the past. Are you sure is that what you want? So, I mean, I don't think we'll ever get everybody to that, but if we could even increase it, take a little bit more load off customer service and on the website, that's a good thing.
I think what we'll see more of is more people will be placing their order online and be calling customer service to ask for information,
Right.
and then they will finish their order on their own, because we get a lot of that already.
Do we really?
Yeah. People will call in and say, hey, I have questions about this. Okay, do you want, and we'll say, yeah, you want us to get an order going? No, I've got it in my cart here. Just before I hit finish, I wanted to
Make sure.
ask XYZ about it. So
Huh.
Another feature kind of related to the checkout process is order comments. And I have debated whether I was even going to enable this one, because I know it's going to really make some people happy, and it's really going to piss off some people inside of here. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be good overall, but I do expect some problems from it, but we'll deal with those as they come. But putting comments on orders and on products. On every time you submit an order, you can submit comments for the order. You can submit comments on individual products. The problem that causes is that slows and stops everything from going through our system. Our system is very automated. It requires no interaction from the time you hit submit till it's getting picked by a user in the warehouse. No one has to look at, do anything with your order, touch it, etc. It all just flows through. But so if you put comments on it, we are going to put the order on hold so that someone in customer service or sales can review it. And so it may cause people to have a shipping delay, which I know is going to make somebody mad eventually. They're going to put in an order at 4 and it's not going to go out.
It's real clear though.
Mm-hmm.
It says in good size letters, adding a comment may prevent this from shipping same day.
Yeah, because that's one of the big things we pride ourselves on is for years. I mean, you see Amazon now, and no one beats Amazon in them getting product to customers. But there's still a lot of our competitors that don't ship same day. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how many say, oh, 2 or 3 days until we ship it. Yep. But we ship same day. We have for 20 years. And for us to go, well, this may not ship same day. It's at least not our choice. If there's something you need to note about the order, you can put it on there.
So what kind of notes do you see coming across in there? Because the only thing I can think of is like, hey, if you don't have a red one, send a blue one.
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's why it's a free form, free text entry field. I don't know what people are going to want to put on it. I'm hoping that they don't put directions for the UPS driver on there, because we don't control that. Our customers, you guys actually control that yourselves. I use an app called UPS My Choice, and so I get notifications off every shipment that's coming to my house, whether I got an order confirmation from the place I bought it from or not. Mm-hmm. I still get the notices from UPS My Choice. And then I can leave instructions in there that says, hey, don't leave it at the front door, leave it at the side door, leave it by the shop, or leave it on the back porch. You can tell them what to do there.
Right.
With us, we don't control that, and we can't do anything there. But I know that's going to be a problem area, because people are going to try to do that one. That's the only one that I know for sure is going to happen, and I know for sure is going to be a problem.
So how are you planning on dealing with that? You're planning on having customer service email the customer back saying, hey, we don't control this, here's what you do, and moving the order along?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, that's a fairly simple fix. I just think it's going to be super interesting to see what customers put in there. I imagine the majority of it will be like sonnets and poems about me.
Maybe.
I can't imagine what else they would want to put in there.
I'm sure that a popular comment, I'm not trying to like pat ourselves on the back, will be something like, you guys are awesome. It'll probably be something complimentary.
Right.
Or it might be a comment about how Team Blue sucks. Thank you, Patrick. But
and when he says he's sure, that's because that's what it's going to auto-populate with. It's just random positive comments about Waltons.
I like it. I might have to work something in for that.
All right. So moving on to products, what it's going to do. Improved ability to view stock status. So in the past, it would say more than 9 it'd say 9+ in stock, or it would say inventory low, call for to find it out, right? So how is this going to be better?
It's still gonna be very similar, but it's gonna add some functions to it. If something is out of stock, it's gonna tell you when it's gonna be back in stock. That will be nice in most cases. There will be a few times when you get to a product and it'll be out of stock and it won't have anything listed. That's just because we don't have a confirmation from either our manufacturer or the vendor we're purchasing things from. But if we have a date on it, which most things we do, because our purchasing department is good about getting somewhat firm dates, at least
as firm as possible,
as firm as we can get from a vendor. So that'll be nice. It'll also show average lead times. So if something's out of stock, you'll be able to see, okay, this on average takes Walton's 6 days to get, or maybe you see that, oh, it's 60 days. Okay, you know that it's going to be longer, but that way you aren't afraid to still order something if it looks like it's low on stock or out of stock, because you'll have an idea on when it's coming in. Just better visibility there.
At what point are they seeing that information, average lead time? Is that in the cart when they're adding it to the cart?
On the product page.
On the product page.
The shopping cart basically will just tell you if something's in stock or how many are back ordered. The rest of the information, the deeper information, is on the product page itself. It'll also show if something can ship today or not. So if it sounds easy because our shipping cutoff is 5 p.m. Central Time, but we still get questions about that all the time because people don't stop to look at the actual shipping information page. So there'll just be a little moniker on there that says ships today or ships tomorrow, just to be more upfront about when something can ship.
And then shipping upcharges are now listed separately, so that's helpful.
Yeah, we get a lot of comments about that, especially when we run like a free shipping promo. And they're like, well, I still have to pay shipping. It's like, yeah, the normal shipping is free, but there's some items we can't do that on. We can't send a 50-pound box of Shear Cure for free because that box, it's salt and sodium nitrite, which is pretty inexpensive comparative to the weight, and it's really heavy and really expensive to ship. So there's some things we just can't do. So there's like a $10 upcharge on like a box of Shear Cure, but for most items there aren't upcharges, but when there are, it's listed separately, so there's no hidden surprises.
Yep, that'll make it a lot more clear. Also, and I don't think this is here, but on like the order confirmation page, we're planning on putting a link to the UPS My Choice.
Yeah.
Which is what we were talking about earlier with how you can tell UPS, give them instructions and find out when your products are coming. I think the biggest advantage to My Choice is you don't have to go back to our order, anyone else's order to get your tracking number. If you're using that, you can see any package coming to your address from UPS My Choice. So definitely a time saver there if you do a lot of online shopping. And then there will also be a link to Meatgisitcs on that, because obviously we want you to spend as much time as possible in the Waltons universe. We talked about this like a couple months ago. I think it was the first time I actually stopped and thought about how much time I was spending on Meatgisitcs. And then I started thinking about how much time like customers were spending on Meatgisitcs. And it freaked me out is the wrong term. It made me reevaluate the way I looked at Meatgisitcs. And it's not just a meat processing community, as Papa Sop likes to say. I mean, it has morphed into something else.
Social media?
I mean, I think that is how people are using it. But I also think it's the best possible example of a social media website. Like there is no negativity. There's no.
That's one of my biggest deals about it is there's not negativity.
But even, like,
I someday there's gonna be someone who's a little more negative.
We'll cut 'em.
I'm just gonna ban.
I'm not
people.
gonna. Yeah,
I'm not
gonna
gonna
deal with
stand
that.
for it.
There's not a chance I'm gonna deal with. I'm not gonna let a few bad people ruin what is an awesome community. So if you're a Meatgisitcs listener or user and you're listening, don't ever worry about that. We will immediately ban somebody for that. But yeah, it's amazing how much it is used, how much time people are spending on it. Yeah. And honestly, the last week and a half or so, I have not been on more than like once or twice just to post like a quick update about what we're up to and why they're not hearing from us. But like, I miss it. I miss not seeing. I'm sure I'm going to spend an hour one of these days in the next week or so just looking at what did everybody cook today.
Oh yeah,
like I could
just
spend
one post.
You know what would be a lot of fun would be to go back through that, take like the 10 best creations on that and vote for a winner. Do like a tournament style.
It could be, yeah, like the.
Oh, but no, it would just be 10 of my reverse seared steaks.
The Meatgisitcs People's Choice Awards. Honestly, I like that idea.
Yeah, we'll do something like that.
It would be fun. And just one more way and one more reason for us to give product away and do another giveaway.
Get something.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Things aren't any fun if you don't get anything, right?
That's actually fair. That's fair.
One of the other things we missed, gift cards. People have made a lot of comments about gift cards. I got so frustrated with gift cards on our last website that I took the ability away to purchase them. And I was just tired of it. So we knew we had to get that back. So we have built a gift card program from scratch, which is crazy considering like so many people use gift cards, and you'd be shocked at how some of the gift card programs out there work. They all pretty much suck. Every single one, every single company I've ever talked to, like their programs suck. And trying to integrate between things never works right. Yeah. It's like you get a gift card that works here and that's it. The only way to do it differently is to build your own from scratch. So we finally just said we're building our own from scratch.
So the biggest complaint was that you could use it in the store or on the website, but you could never use it on both, and you couldn't use it when you call in.
Yeah.
So we wanted something that could do all three of those things. It
is not done yet. So it won't be completely live once the website goes live, but it will follow shortly after. It will have the ability to buy a gift card on our website, use it in store, or use it on the website, or call in to customer service and use it there. You'll be able to use a gift card you bought in the store online and vice versa, every which way. It'll just be a lot more user-friendly, easier to use a gift card as well. Everything, when you design it from scratch, you get to choose exactly how you want it to go. So I'm excited for it. It's going to be nice.
So a couple other things that will be more like as you're ordering that you'll notice. We changed the way that we're doing configurable products. So that is like each summer sausage seasoning, you can buy enough to do 25 pounds of meat, or you can buy enough to do 100 pounds of meat. Instead of having two different entries for that on the web, we've always had one where you then select whether you want the 25 or 1. And how you would do that in the past is they'd both be on the same page. You'd fill in a box and you hit add to order. To simplify things, we've just changed that to a drop down. So it should automatically default to the 25 pound unit. And then you can change that and hit add however many to the cart. There's still that little thing there. You can fill in 3 if you want 3, whatever. Going to be absolutely awesome for seasonings, everything like that. The one thing where we're going to see some feedback on is vacuum bags. Mm-hmm. Just because there's so many of them. I think it'll take a while for people to get used to it, but I really do think long-term people will like that better than the old way.
Yeah, I think it'll make sorting through vac bags and picking out which one you want easier.
I think so.
We'll see. I mean, big thing's going to be after we go live is just we wait and we listen, see what everybody's feedback is. And
are we still planning on doing a live stream the day we go live?
Hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's when you say hopefully though, this is not like normal live stream. No problem. I'll sit up here and do it by myself. On that day, you're being there.
Yeah. I mean,
there'd be a lot. I'm like, I don't know.
I could see there being a scenario where it doesn't work out, or we could go live and there's a big enough problem that I'm like, sorry, John, sure. I got to go.
Sure.
But no, I think it'll work out. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Basically, we were planning on going live Wednesday. Some things happened with payment processing, so we just decided to push that to Tuesday. By the time you're listening to this, it's already live. We've already had our live stream. You've already told us how much you love the site, how great Hopefully. Austin and I are, and thanked us profusely for our hours and hours of tireless work on this.
John literally coded the whole website from scratch. He did a really good job.
By myself. By myself. That's why I wasn't liking how you were using we a lot. Should have been saying John.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I did none of the coding or nothing would work.
I did all the coding on the integration, which technically is still not done. And that is driving me up a wall.
Yeah,
so people better like this because I'm sick of messing with things right now.
Yeah. I think the last thing that we really need to figure out from our standpoint, non-payment processing, we've already gone through and make sure that every single product you can add to the cart. We shouldn't run into a single problem with that. We've already checked all URLs. Last thing is like landing pages, just really figuring those out because we're gonna have to change the way we do things, like the /win/live.
Yeah, and
how we update those is gonna be a little bit different.
If we screw up the /win page, people are gonna kill us for that because they want to win their free stuff.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, we have it working right now.
Oh yeah.
So as long as we don't destroy it, we'll be fine.
I think the biggest thing overall for me is I think everything's just easier though. Whether it's going
on the new website.
Yeah. Whether it's going just to the /win page to enter or going to order products or reorder, sign up, whatever. Everything's just easier.
Design is better too. Looks nicer.
I would say more simple, kind of.
Streamlined?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No more tabbed appearance on the product page. I hated the tabbed appearance. That's a good point. All just one infinite, quote unquote, infinite scroll.
Right.
Deal.
So like on a seasoning, if you wanted to see the ingredients, you'd have to scroll down on the page and then click the additional info tab. It wasn't really a tab, but I mean, that's how it displayed it. And then a certain number of characters were in there. Now it's everything.
Yeah.
Like we could put in Moby Dick in the ingredients and it would post it there. So
technically not. Then you start getting into database architecture and what type of character field you're using and does it have enough size to hold it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, technically it may not. Things only hold so much data. Even like a number field, you can have like a small number, a big number, or like a really, really big number. Same thing with text. You have a small thing of text, a set character limit on text, something that's a lot bigger, or you get to a certain size and you just have to make something like a blob. That's not going to mean anything to anybody, but I don't know. No one else probably cares except me about this.
Listen,
but
you're talking.
I still have to correct you.
You're talking to a guy who had a real hard time understanding that when you write something to a hard drive, it doesn't get any heavier. So, so that's what you're dealing with.
Oh my gosh.
My level of sophistication.
Are you serious?
Yeah. For a long time. And I used to work for an internet company, and but I often enjoy thinking weird things. Like when I was a kid, they wanted to put me in therapy because I have a problem with object permanence, which is like the knowledge that the hallway's out there, even though I can't see it. Like the hallway's there, but I can't see it. So
it's not really there.
I don't really believe you. Like, why? Why do we just automatically like, yeah, obviously the hallway's out there. You don't know. You're not seeing it.
That's weird.
Huh?
I mean, like if tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a noise?
Yes. Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
I'd say no, it doesn't.
No, it definitely does.
Sound is a very experiential thing.
It's a vibration of air.
Yeah, but
The air still vibrates.
if no one's there to hear it, there is no sound because it's an experience.
No.
Yeah.
It's a vibration through the air. It's there. All right, we got anything else? And I hit the table. I think I had done good the entire time until that. Patrick was yelling at me for her hitting the table recently. All right, so yeah, we'll be back in a week. We've got some guests coming up. Should be some interesting conversations. I had a really good time last week with Gabe and Brittany.
Yeah.
But I do like the ones with just you and I. We tend to get at least a couple good rants in.
We do entirely what we want.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to the conversation before about not wanting to be told what to do. If you and I just get to sit here and do whatever we want, we're happy.
Yeah, that's fair. It doesn't take much to make me happy. It's just everything I want. And I'm happy. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Or please, if you're listening, do leave a review. It definitely does help. One other thing. I want to talk about the Hunting Dog podcast.
Oh, okay.
We are sponsoring a podcast called the Hunting Dog Podcast with Ron Boehm or Bomi. He's a great guy. Just started talking to him, but we are going to do some sponsorships with him. He has an awesome podcast. He's a real good listen. Everything's off the cuff, very fun, very conversational. He has a great podcast. In April, he's going to be on Steve Ranello's podcast. This is a guy that people really trust with their hunting dogs, taking advice from. So give him a listen. And another one is Hunt, Fish, Eat with Daniel Holder. It's another podcast that we sponsor sort of. And he's done a great job with his podcast. So cool. See you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to Waltonsinc.com. And to get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at Meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.